Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm still playing 7 Ages. And we had a few, a little weird turns lately. Mainly this area here, Eastern Europe, Western Asia, is still completely empty. So is the Near East, Middle East. So that is not what you would expect during a, typical game of 7 Ages, I guess. Lots of things happened here in Asia, East Asia, and also a little bit in America. And what we're going to see now is that really a lot of empires enter the Dark Ages. Basically we got these two here, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 empires here, another one here, or actually 2. So we got 8 empires entering the Dark Ages. And because of the fact that there is so many free space here, I think we can be sure that some empires will be discarded now, and we're going to see some changes. So let's see who holds on to his empires and who will let them go. Okay, first player is the pink player, and no empire will start this turn because everyone controls 3 empires. So we might see some production action. Let's see. Not many. Here, the Plains Americans. Yeah. These are actually the only ones who will produce. It's kind of interesting. And they want to fight. They don't want to go away simply. They want to fight back. And, well, why not? I mean, they generate a few points. If they manage somehow maybe to get back this area here, and they have a few units here and some here, have a neat income. So if they manage to get back this area, that would be their hometown, then they would again generate 3 points, which isn't that bad. And they gain an extra glory point per land liberated. So that might be also a way to gain some extra glory points by attacking then the Aztecs or something like that. Their problem is they are now also in a dark age, or they are not yet, but they will enter a dark age. So I'm not sure how long we will see these guys, but for now they are not doing that bad. So let's see what happens here. We got an income of, that's 6 and then 9, so that's an income of 15. And we have to halve that because it's a barbarian empire. So it's an income of 8. And because they saved $1, they are at 9, which isn't so bad. And because their progress marker is now finally here, they are allowed to build swordsmen. So they pay now $9. They can actually afford all these units, which is absolutely not bad, I guess. So we can place one here, one here, another one might go here, and finally, I guess, we place one here. So this is going to be a pretty tough situation for the Incas, actually, for the Aztecs. It's not going to be easy to defeat the Plains Indians. Actually, I have my doubts if they can do it. Okay, well, let's see. The next production, there is none. There are no more productions. So now we come to the trade in progress. Okay. So the Japanese, they are doing a trade in progress action. So they are right here. And now I wonder if they can trade with the Huns, and I think that should be possible. No, it isn't. I thought they might be able to trade with the Huns, but there is this space adjacent, and that is controlled by the Koreans, and the Korean player, the green player, says, no, we don't want you to trade with them, and you need the allowance of another player if you want to trade with an empire that where the range goes through that other player's empire. So that won't work, which kind of sucks. Well, so it seems like there is no more advanced civilization to trade with, which is sad because that would have allowed us to move 3 spaces. But this way we actually have to trade with the Koreans. There is no other option, and well, they are behind, but still in the same age. So let's see. Well, how badly do we want to win that trade? That's now the question. Okay, so it's a tough decision here to make. Basically, he wants to win that trade because he wants to move Japan out of the Dark Age, move a little further. He could play the Germans card here, that's 7. But the Germans are pretty good, and because they got to discard the Siamese, it's definitely an option to keep that card and maybe to play the Germans. In addition, that this one here, I'm Truly Glorious, is also pretty cool. Play at the start of the Harvest Glory to double glory earned by target empire. Pretty good card. We got here the Spanish. Wow, you know, that's another card that would be interesting to play. And I'm not sure how long I'm going to hold on to the Polynesians. So maybe it's not a bad idea to keep that empire too. So I think what I'm going to give away is Benin. That's only a 5, but you know, it's still not so bad. And it's a little sad because the Civil War is definitely also a cool card. Can destroy an empire with that, but still, I think I want to give away that card, Benin, because he has also seen that the Korean player, the green player, only has 2 cards. So he might think, well, maybe he doesn't have the best cards. So I think a 5 might be good enough. Fine. So that means that now the Korean player, he's going to throw that 2 in, because he wants to keep that card because of this overslept event. Okay, we got a trade modifier here of +0, And the Japanese, they got a trade modifier of +02. Okay. So the first player draws 2 cards. That's only a 2, so that's a 7. Second player draws 2 cards. That's better, that's a 4, but that's only a 6 in the end. So the Japanese have won that trade, and now they end up with this really bad card, the Phoenicians here, and I absolutely have no idea what to do with them. Okay. But okay, finally they made it at least a few steps ahead, so they are now here at the end of the Third Age. But still in a Dark Age. And then, yeah, we got that problem. Damn, I don't know. We got now the Polynesians here. I have no idea. I placed a wild card on them. But okay, I think my idea was to trade with them too. Because basically they are doing good. But I have to trade them through the whole Dark Ages. They have this horrible modifier of -2. So honestly, I don't think I can do it. So I guess I will use that wild card to discard the Polynesians too. Or maybe I'm simply gonna pass with them, but I'm not gonna trade. Well, maybe I should actually. I think I will trade with the Polynesians. On the other hand, that would cost me a glory point. I thought about trading with them to get rid of this crappy Phoenician card, but then it would cost me a glory point, and I guess that's not worth it. Okay. So, okay, then we see a trade with the Romans. I placed a wild card there. Not sure why I did that. I thought about trading with the Zimbabweans, but now it's going to be the Romans. They're going to do the trade. And, well, let's see. Yeah, I got a problem with these guys now too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I really want the Romans to win that trade. I could trade with the Minoans. They are more advanced, which is good, because it allows me to move 3 spaces ahead. And I'm going to give away that card here, the Arabs. Okay. And, well, the Minoans, you know, the player decided to discard that card, to discard that empire. So they don't really want to hold on to them. And I think they're going to throw away, well, throw away, they give away the modern state, only a 5, because they don't really want to win that trade. So now, what happens is that the red player, the Romans, they play this rare commodity. Play this on an empire involved in trade and progress. That empire decides whether cards are swapped. This trade action after cards are revealed. Okay. So first we now do the trade themselves. And the Roman player draws 2 cards. That's a 4 plus 7, so that's an 11. And they got a modifier of +1, so that's a 12. And we got here, oh boy, that's a 0. So that's a clear win for the Romans, and they want to keep their card. They want to keep the Arabs, and there is a reason for that, because they actually think about discarding the Incas, and then they might start the Arabs in the next turn. So that allows now the Romans to move 3 spaces ahead. So they nearly made it out of these Dark Ages. Okay, now, yeah, we see a trade in progress, another one, by the Vietnamese. I think they are actually here. Yeah, they want to get out of this space to move to era 4 and get rid of these Dark Ages for a while. So, yeah, I think they're gonna play that freed state here, and they have a trade modifier of +0, and they can take one of these crappy ones. For example, maybe the Polynesian player has a lot of cards. What about the Chu player? Well, he also has a lot of cards. Okay, I think he actually decides to trade with the Polynesian player. He's got a -2 trade modifier. So, let's see. The Polynesian player, well, basically he thought about discarding them. And it's the same problem. I mean, we don't want to throw away these 2 empires, the Germans, the Spanish. So, and also that I Am Truly Glorious card, I don't want to give that to someone else. Okay, what I'm going to do is... Okay, I think I'm going to give away now this crappy card here. The Phoenicians with their 2. Okay, so that means the Phoenicians, the Polynesians have basically a value of 0, while the Siamese have a value of 5. So they draw first, and that's a 4, so that's a 9. So there is no way for the Polynesians to win that trade, even with a 5, but nope. Okay. So now they get this free state, and no, wait a second, it was, damn it. Yeah, exactly, and that card here goes to the gray player. And then the Vietnamese can now move 2 spaces ahead, which brings them into H4, the Renaissance. And that was then the last trade action. Let's see, maneuver actions. Okay. So, yeah, it's the Aztecs. They played a maneuver action. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what to do now with these guys. Should we really do that maneuver? I don't know. I got a feeling it doesn't make too much sense, actually. Because... damn. I got a feeling we're nearly dead here, actually. Yeah, I think I was simply overconfident against the Plains Americans here. Damn it. I don't think there is a way I can really stand against them. I have no idea what to do now. I mean, I could simply stay there. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay there. I still got a pretty good combat card, so I might also wait for the attack. And then maybe, if I'm lucky, I might be able to defeat them in combat, although I don't think so actually. But hey, who knows? For now I'm going to stay there, I guess. And I'm going to pass simply because, yeah. On the other hand, I played a wild card. No, did I? No, I played a maneuver card on the Aztecs. So, yeah. I have to pass. And then we're gonna see another maneuver by the Huns here. And yeah, they simply wanna move now into this area here, Sichuan, and try to capture another city. So they're gonna leave this guy here and then move here and attack that city. Okay, so there is no special combat card or whatever, so that means we're gonna see a massacre here, I guess. They can ignore these fortress and fortification penalties because of this ballista here, so that means they have a 12, and that's a 5, that's a 17, that's a 21 against a 2. So let's draw a card for the attacker. That's a 28 again. Yeah, great, that's fantastic, against a 2. So no doubt here that's probably the last that we've seen of the Shu, and well, they really go down now. So that also means that the city here is liberated. It's reduced by a level. Okay, there we go. In addition, that means that the Huns will gain 3 glory points for that city, while the Chu move 3 glory points down. 1, 2, 3, or 3 progress points down. So I mean, they're nearly there where they started. They really went back into the Stone Age after this attack by the Huns. Okay. Yeah. This is then basically the end of the Huns' turn, and that is also now the end of the maneuver action. Now we're going to see a destiny action. And we start here, the Melanesians, they're going to do a destiny action. The reason why they did that is basically because they cannot do a lot more. They're going to be discarded in the next turn. I just don't want to discard them now, because now I'm going to discard the Chu. So, and I don't want to lose that glory point by using a wild card for discarding both in the same action. So I decided, okay, I just use a destiny card and maybe draw one or two good cards. I think I'm going to throw away that one. And, well, I don't know. Maybe this one here. And what about that one? The Magians. Play when an empire takes a production action. That's not a bad card. But I think I will throw it away anyway. And maybe we draw a few new ones. Let's see. So we can draw 3 new cards. Latin Americans. Well, that's not so great. The blowback is kind of interesting. Play anytime an event card is played, you control the play of that event, who the target is, provided target is available. So that's kind of cool. The Ukrainians. Not possible actually. Too late. They appear too late. And finally, the third card would be the Tang, which can also not be played. Okay, so these were not great cards, but okay, whatever. So basically, this guy will now more or less possibly change all 3 empires he has. I mean, it depends a little on how the Aztecs are doing, but until now, I think there are too many problems here with the Plains Americans. So he might really end up now changing all 3 empires he controls at the moment. The Zimbabweans, they're also going to do a destiny action, simply because that red player wants to trade with the Romans, with the Zimbabweans. So he needs some good cards. But the cards he has are basically too valuable to trade them. So he can now draw 4 new cards. Well, that one isn't so great. But the Uprising might be kind of fun. Oh gosh, that sucks. Nah. Okay, that one's fine. That one is not so bad. Okay, well, at least one good card to trade with. Okay, we see a destiny action by the Koreans. They throw away that card now, and they can draw 4 new cards. They might actually also start a new empire, although they could start Benin, which is not so bad. But let's see what we find otherwise. The Sinhalese with a 4. They also need some good trading cards. The Zulus, well, not so amazing. The Tamils, well, they definitely are not so great either. The Habsburgs. Well, that's definitely not a bad card, but also not that amazing for trade. Well, let's see. Yeah, let's bring a little order here in this card chaos here. Okay, let's see if we do some civilized actions now. I'm still wondering what to do with the Polynesians. I'm pretty sure I'm going to discard them, but not in that turn. So okay, I'm going to play a civilized action with the Satavahana. So we could play artifacts or end events. So actually I'm not sure if this is something I want to do. Nope. Okay. Then we could promote a leader. Well, why not? This guy will die pretty soon. But let's see. We can pick twice. So that is a scientist. That's pretty cool. Because the scientist allows us to ignore the effect of a dark age. So that means, yeah, we're gonna place this guy here, I guess. Maybe here. That means we can now move on with the progress marker. We would also gain our full glory points. So this guy is definitely pretty awesome. But I'm gonna check that again. Okay, in addition, if you have a scientist, you can actually play 2 cards during your trade phase, and after the cards are revealed, you can decide which card you actually want to play. So the scientist was a really strong guy, especially with these house rules that have the glory points in Dark Ages. Okay, fine. Then we go on and we could now adopt a religion or a government. Well, we could adopt Buddhism from the Vietnamese. I'm actually thinking about doing that. Yeah, Buddhism is definitely kind of cool. There is basically no penalty, and it kind of protects you from disorder and also a little bit from attacks. So, a good thing, I guess. So we place Buddhism on the Satavahana. That gives them a glory point in addition. So that's also neat. Then they can urbanize, and that allows them to, well, I think I'm going to simply, well, level up this city here to a level 3 city. Definitely a good idea, I guess. Okay, and this is it then. And now we come to the last phase, the discard empire phase, and this is going to be pretty brutal this time. We start with the Chu. That hurts a little bit because, you know, they were, I mean, this is an old empire. To see them go is kind of sad, you know. They, for a very long time, they completely dominated Asia. They were by far the biggest empire of the game. But now it doesn't make any sense because they are technologically so far behind that a normal combat is nearly impossible with them. In addition, they've nearly lost all their good income areas, maybe except for that one, but they've lost a big part of their cities. So basically what happens is they are now prey for the Huns. And that is something we can simply avoid by discarding them. So they're all removed now. Pretty crazy. And now there is this big vacuum here too. But I'm pretty sure that there are some candidates to fill that, especially of course the Hans, maybe also the Satavahana, both controlled by the green player. So these go away too. Temple of Diana is destroyed. And finally this one here. Okay, so there we are. It's a pity. Okay, then we're gonna see the Siamese go. Of course, there is no reason to hold on to them. Here they are. They have just these 2 units left, so who cares about them? But they might come back, you know. They can be played during ages 2 to 7, so there is a good chance that we will see them again. Okay. I'm really thinking about discarding the Polynesians right now, because I got this card Empires Galore, which allows me to start 2 empires in one turn. I could, for example, start the Germans and the Papal State. On the other hand, that would cost me then a glory point, and I mean, they give me a few glory points if I hold on to them right now, so maybe I should, I'm gonna keep them for now. The Incas, they're gonna go away. I don't know, they simply were not that successful. Basically, they were not that bad. The problem with the Incas is I have to trade the Incas through the whole Dark Ages. And I also have to trade the Zimbabweans through these Dark Ages, and I have to trade the Romans also another Dark Age. So that's simply too much. I cannot bring them all 3 through my Dark Ages, so I'm going to discard the weakest, and I'm pretty sure the Zimbabweans are better than the Incas right now, so they have to go. It's also a little sad, but I think it makes sense now. Okay, so this is all gone. Actually, I think they have a neutral city left here in Peru. But this is it then. Okay, and finally the Minoans. And that's also, well, that's kind of sad, but they were one of the oldest empires and also one of the most glorious empires, actually. But now it's going to be very hard for them to come back. They have this problem. They have a disorder here and a disorder there. Okay, they got their populist here, which would allow them to remove disorder if they do a maneuver action. But you gotta ask yourself, I mean, that would be one action just to remove the disorder. If they then wanna, I don't know, produce more units, which they would have to if they wanna remove this disorder, an example, or buy any more ships, which is basically their goal, then they would gain an income of, well, I don't know, even if they had removed the disorder here, would give them 3, well, okay, 4, that's 7, it's 10. But they have to pay maintenance, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would give them only $6 then. And that sucks. I think it's really time for them to go. And there are interesting alternatives, and that's an important point here. There are the Norwegians and the Dutch, which can both be started. If they were not there, maybe it would be worth it to hold on to them and see how we can come out of this mess. But honestly, right now I don't see anything that makes sense here. So they are now discarded too. Yep. Okay, there we are. Okay, I actually made a little mistake. If you remove an empire, the cities stay there and they are not reduced. So I guess that means that these cities stay here. There we have a level 3 city actually. And in Carthage there will also be a city. And another one here in Crete. But if another empire enters these areas, and we also have, I think there were 2 cities here, but I'm not absolutely sure anymore. If another empire enters these areas now, the cities will automatically be reduced by 1. So all these level 1 cities, they will then be destroyed automatically. But okay. So, yeah, and you can see now these are some really dark ages. It's pretty crazy. South America is empty. In Europe, only the Romans stay. Middle East, empty. West Asia, empty. In Africa, more or less only the Zimbabweans. That is weird. That is definitely weird. But there will be also a lot of empires now get started in the next turn. We're going to see 4 new empires. And yeah, maybe that makes the game then a little more interesting. But before we finish, of course, we have to harvest the glory and we have to remove all that stuff from the money and the progress track. Okay, so the Minoans are gone. That means that the Vietnamese and the Huns are the most technological advanced civilizations now. Let's do the glory. Well, we got the Aztecs. They are in a dark age. They control their homeland. That's basically it, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So that gives them exactly 1 point for the pink player. And the Melanesians, they are also in a dark age. They are here and they're going to be discarded next turn, I guess. They control their homeland and Australia. So that gives them 2 points. That gives them another point. And this is it. What a terrible turn for the pink player. Yeah. Then we got the yellow player. The Japanese, also in a dark age. Well, their homeland, they might be second if it comes to the seafaring nations. And that is actually the case. No, that's not. It's not. Polynesians are 1, Melanesians are 2 because of turn order, so they are only third because they only control 2 maritime spaces. So, well, that's simply 1 single point for them. And then we got the Polynesians, and they are also in a dark age. They are the biggest seafaring nation in the world, and they also control the biggest fleet. That's pretty amazing. That gives them 5 points. So hey, they get at least 3 points. That's at least something, although it isn't great. He's still the player with the least glory points, the yellow one. The red player, the Romans. Yeah, I mean, they are doing good, obviously. Homeland, number 1 in Europe. Most artifacts. Gives them 6 points. Still in a dark age, though. 3 points for the Romans. The Zimbabweans, well, that's 3 points for them. Number 1 in Africa, their homeland, but they're also in a dark age, so only 2 points for them. Still, overall, it wasn't that bad. Now, the green player. The Koreans, yeah, well, they kind of suck. That's basically only 1 point for their homeland, and this is it. Not even number 1 in Northeast Asia. I don't know if they will stay there for long, and actually they are also in a dark age, but okay, it's still 1 point, but definitely not great. The Satavahana, well, they are not doing that bad. Because of their scientist, they made it out of the dark age now. Sadly, this guy will die at the end of this age, so they have the problem that it would be amazing for them if they would have ended up with a scientist here. But they didn't do that. Anyway, they gain 1 point for their home area, 1 point for India, and I'm pretty sure they are now number 1 in the world, at least with the land areas. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Desert doesn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're even with the Romans. And because the Romans are sadly ahead in turn order, it's only 1 point for the world. Still. Yeah, that sucks because they are exactly behind the Romans, so they will probably always be behind them in turn order, except for the point where they are first player. But they might find a chance to expand a little bit here, so we'll see about that. Anyway, they gained 3 points, which is not so bad. 1, 2, 3. So the green player catches up now a little bit. The Huns, yeah, I guess they're still too small. They made 3 points in this turn for liberating Sichuan, but they're not big enough to generate points for the size if it comes to the whole world. But maybe one day this will also happen. Okay, so yellow is now pretty far behind, but the rest is getting a little more closer overall, you know. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, okay, well, as I said, weird situation, the whole world, half the world is empty. But that happens during the Dark Age. That's what happens during the Dark Age. So we're definitely going to see some dramatic changes. Lots of new empires starting next turns. Maybe a few disappearing. I don't know if I want to hold on to the Polynesians. The Melanesians will go too. Pretty sure one of these guys too. Possibly the Aztecs. So and the Koreans. So we will go on. The world is empty and we kind of have to restart now after these dark ages. That's really weird. I wonder if this is every time the case or just in this game. Whatever. Hope to see you in my next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Until then, bye.